One thing we talked about when we had our discussion about Qui, which I think was in 2007, is you suggested that working with those guys taught you a lot about singing, things you hadn't really thought about before as a vocalist. And I don't know if you stand by that, if you feel that way still. Beyond the writing, I'm marveling at your singing. You sound fucking awesome on this album, if I might say. Is there anything about what I just alluded to, that time with Qui, or anything else that you feel you brought to the table on this particular album in terms of your skill set as a singer?
Yeah, thanks, Vish. There's a handful. I mean, with Qui, both those guys are actually good singers. They can hit notes that they want to hit, and they can harmonize and, do a half step and all that shit. I never fucked with that before Qui. I mean, I would, there was some intention of hitting a note at whatever, but I wasn't that worried about it. I focused more with Qui on that. And then several years ago, Chris Novoselic emailed me and said, hey, we need to talk. And he and Pat Smear and Dave Grohl were going to do this experience music thing in Seattle. And it was going to be the first time they would have played together since Kurt killed himself. And Chris wanted me to be the singer. He said that he thought that Kurt would want me.
Wow.
And so, yeah, I was pretty blown away by that. But I said, well, happily. So I hired Paul, the guy from Qui, to give me vocal lessons, because a lot of the Nirvana stuff he's actually singing, and like on Smells Like Teen Spirit, it's way higher than you kind of realize. And so for a few months, I took vocal lessons with Paul to prepare for that. And we practiced a few times with Buzz and Dale from the Melvins, with Chris. And then when it got closer to the time that it was going to happen, Dave Grohl said, no, I don't want David Yow. I want like Paul McCartney and Neil Young and shit like that. And they ended up not having any, but they just had girls. It was like, I think, Lord and PJ Harvey, and I'm not sure.
This was for the Hall of Fame, wasn't it? The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame stuff?
Maybe. Maybe they didn't even do the experience music thing.
What you're describing is, I think, what they did with the Hall of Fame, where it was Joan Jett, Kim Gordon, Lord. I don't think PJ Harvey. Anyway, yeah, it was. Okay. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, you may be right. Yeah. Maybe it didn't happen at all. Then maybe they just blew it off. But that was very helpful in sort of muscle memory and trying to match keys and tones and stuff like that.